Hello aspirants, looking at current affairs for 4th December, Sunday. The news items which we have picked up from the Hindu are these 12. Now on Sundays, the Hindu picks up science and tech articles, and on page 5 in the Mumbai edition, we have the title of the page as science and tech and various news items covered. The first two news items here are based on that page 5 coverage. This page is city news in Delhi edition. So you may not find these two items there, but don't worry, we are covering them here, so you can listen up out here. We'll discuss each of them in detail. The first one, ultra-thin water repellent surface chemistry at work. Scientists from India have developed a material which is both hydrophobic and oleophobic. Phobic means phobia, fear of. So hydro is water and oleo is oil. So fear of means not attracting, repelling. So it's both water repellent and oil repellent. But materials with such characteristics are already available and used. But what is unique of this development, this invention, is that this material is ultra thin, as so much that it is transparent. So this has been repaired using graphite. Graphite is the naturally occurring form of crystalline carbon. So exfoliation of this graphite has resulted in stacking of carbon atoms in such a way that a single layer thin sheet of carbon atoms is formed, and that is called graphene. So graphene was discovered in 2004 and it has varied applications. So this graphene is used. They have prepared fluorinated graphene oxide, and this gives it the characteristics of ultra hydrophobic and oleophobic characteristics. So this has various applications. The researchers are also on the way for filing for an IPR, intellectual property right, on this invention. Also, they have already received applications, requests for applications. So in oil drilling machines they can be used. So such films help in preventing corrosion of the material. Also they can be used in surgical implants and surgical tools. So such characteristics help them to be antibacterial also. So it has various applications. It says from car windshields to medical aids, surgical implants, and in all tools they can be used. So this is the development. More important from this is about graphene. So you should know about graphene. What is it? So graphene was first experimentally obtained in 2004 by a group of researchers from Britain and Russia. This was awarded Nobel Prize too. So Nobel Prize for Physics in 2000 went for this groundbreaking discovery of two-dimensional material graphene. So graphene, these are single layer atoms which are bonded together. This is called graphene. It's a single layer sheet. It is extremely strong and flexible. So this is its unique characteristics. It can be used as a conductor as well as a superconductor. So it has various applications to be used in even in computer chips and circuits. So it is of micro scale. So it will help in reducing the sizes too of various materials. Also it can be used to replace heavy copper wires in aeroplane sector. It can be used to develop flexible sensors and display. So screen sheets for mobile phones and various applications, LED displays. It can be used for those purposes too. So it has various applications. This is graphene. You can see various applications again detailed out here. So in conductive inks, so in the circuits too, graphene can be used for conduction as such, linking as such provided. It can be used for flexible electronics, 3D printing. It can be used in paints and coatings. It can be used for energy storage devices and other applications. So this is graphene. Then the next news item is IIT Kharagpur researchers develop a tiny blood pH sensor. Again here we have to understand what is pH. So pH gives you the acidity, alkalinity, or the neutrality of a substance. So pH scale is from 0 to 14. At 7 it is called neutral. Less than 7 pH value means it is acidic. A substance is acidic, and if it's more than 7, then it is basic or alkaline. So this various solutions and the acidity, alkalinity is also shown here. HCl, hydrochloric acid, is very acidic. You can see gastric juices, orange juice, wine, coffee are acidic. Milk is closer to the neutral level. So you can see it's near neutral but towards acidic side. Pure water is completely neutral. Blood is slightly alkaline. Seawater is alkaline. You can see detergents, bleach, sodium hydroxide, these are highly alkaline. So this is there. So H plus and OH negative, these are the ions. So H plus ions provide acidity characteristics, and OH minus, OH negative ions provide alkalinity characteristics. So if pH level is low, then H plus ions in that solution will be high. So this pH of a solution can be sensed. For blood pH too it can be used. So it's a tiny sensor which has been developed by IIT Kharagpur scientists. Now the uniqueness of this tiny blood pH sensor is, of course, blood pH is determined, but it is presently determined using arterial blood sampling devices. So they are bulky and time consuming, and this micro device, tiny device which has been developed, is quicker and lighter. So it takes 10 seconds to detect the pH of blood, and it uses the venal blood. So arteries and veins, blood flows through, pure blood flows through arteries, and impure blood in general flows through veins. So arterial blood is used in other heavy devices. This uses venous blood sampling for pH measurement, and it's very quick. In 10 seconds it detects the pH of the blood. So this helps in not using heparin too, because otherwise heparin needs to be used. So heparin is an anticoagulant drug. So anticoagulant means blood has this characteristic to coagulate. When you get a cut or a bruise, and if blood oozes out, in some time coagulation takes place and the layer is formed. So that is the characteristic in blood. So coagulation should not take place when blood pH is being detected. So for that purpose, heparin, an anticoagulant drug, needs to be used. But then since this tiny pH sensor which is used acts very quick in 10 seconds. This is less than the time taken for blood to clot. So in such cases you don't need to use heparin too. So this is also an added advantage. In these bulky devices which are used to detect the pH of blood, time taken is 30 to 40 seconds. So in such cases heparin has to be used. So these are the benefits of using this tiny pH sensor. Then the next news item is, this tool may improve breast cancer surgery. Researchers from Australia have developed a cost-effective and portable, which can be taken around, a portable pH-sensitive optical fiber. So this helps in distinguishing breast cancer tissues from normal tissues. So pH we have already understood, acidity, alkalinity from the article above. So pH sensitivity can be used for this purpose because cancerous tissues are in acidic environment. Why? Because cancer cells have rigorous growth. So because of this rigorous growth, lactic acid is produced as a byproduct. So in such cases, the environment, the tissues become slightly acidic, and this can clearly be segregated from healthy tissues. So the tip of this optical fiber is embedded with a pH indicator, and it emits different color based on the acidity. So the surgeon can clearly understand whether the tissue is cancerous or normal based on the light emitted, and if it is cancerous it can be removed. So this is a huge advance on the present surgery techniques which are used. So technique used is called cavity shaving. So in this cavity shaving, huge amount of tissue is removed, in which even healthy tissues get removed. So this is a disadvantage here. Plus in some cases the cancerous tissues are left off. So in those cases it is much more traumatic, because then breast cancer may reoccur and then a follow-up surgery may also be required. So to avoid such cases, this discovery, this development is of significance. Then the next news item is, Base movement had planned more blasts in Kerala. Police. Base movement is an outfit which owes its allegiance to Al-Qaeda, which operated in Kerala. The members of this base movement had conducted a low intensity blast in Kollam and Malappuram in Kerala, and they had sent a WhatsApp message claiming the responsibility for the attacks in November 2016, and the police have arrested them now from Madurai and Chennai, and interrogations are going on. So presently they are behind bars. So this base movement, the term, at least you should know about, because it frequently comes in news right now. Then the next news item is 10,500-year-old camping site found in Ladakh. A camping site basically means that it was a temporary shelter which was used by hunters and food gatherers of this period. So this is 8,500 BC. So the dating has been done based on the charcoal pieces which have been recovered from there and remains of bones. So they had also been sent to US for dating, radiocarbon dating, and this has found that they belong to 8500 BC. So this evidence has been confirmed, and this is in Ladakh region, which is close to the Saserla Pass up here, which further connects to Karakoram Pass. So Karakoram Pass also connects India and China. So this is the news. Then the next news item is 9 years on, elephant safari back with a bang at Rajaji Tiger Reserve. So what is important here is not that the elephant safari has started, but Rajaji Tiger Reserve. So this is in Uttarakhand state. So we have to remember all sanctuaries, tiger reserves in states. It is important, at least you should know which sanctuary lies in which state, because such match the columns and pairs are also asked as MCQs, and it is difficult to remember and by heart all the names at a go. So whenever there's some sanctuary, some reserve in news, if you pick up and study it and at least remember those, it will help you in recollecting in such MCQs. So that's why I have picked this up. So Rajaji Tiger Reserve is in Uttarakhand. So this gives you the details of others tiger reserves too. So of course this is located at the foothills of Himalayas. So Uttarakhand is a hilly Himalayan state. So this you can see Rajaji Tiger Reserve is here near Dehradun. Corbett Tiger Reserve is the more prominent one from Uttarakhand, which is up here. Nanda Devi, Valley of Flowers, these are other national parks in Uttarakhand, which you should know. Then the next news item is choosing hospital over home. This is regarding Janani Suraksha Yojana, which was launched in 2005 as part of NRHM, National Rural Health Mission. So under this, the objective was to reduce maternal mortality rate and neonatal mortality rate. So maternal mortality rate is mortality, means death of the mother in childbirth. So that is maternal mortality rate. So how many deaths take place per 1000 live births, and neonatal mortality rate. So that is number of neonatal, means newborn children. So these newborn children up to the age of 28 days. So within 28 days of birth, the children who die, that mortality is called neonatal mortality rate. So how many such deaths take place per 1000 live births. So these rates should be reduced in India. So for that, what is required is institutional delivery. Institutional delivery means delivery in hospitals, not in homes, under proper care. So that institutional deliveries are to be encouraged. So that is the major objective of Janani Suraksha Yojana. And to assist this, cash transfer, cash payments would be done to the mothers as well as to ASHA. ASHA is accredited social health activists. So these are people, social workers, women who are appointed by the government to assist under NRHM. So they were established under NRHM. So these ASHA activists would also get an incentive, plus the mother would also get an incentive. So this is a cash-driven cash transfer scheme, under which you can see in rural areas and urban areas the package with the mother and ASHA worker would get, which is respectively shown. Plus in this is low priority areas, states, and this is in high priority states. So the rates are different in different states and for mother and ASHA. So this is the Janani Suraksha Yojana. So presently the news is that choosing hospital over home, this Yojana has seen 22% increase in women delivering in government hospitals in the time frame for the study 2004 to 2014. So means it has succeeded in achieving its objective to some extent. Plus also it is seen that women are going to hospitals not just for deliveries but for other ailments too. So this is another positive development which is taking place. Also another point put forth is that it is maybe also because of Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana, which has also been launched, which provides health insurance coverage. So that may also be another factor which is bringing people to the hospitals. But what is required further is of course quality of care in government hospitals, which needs to be enhanced. Also, Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana was launched in 2008 by Ministry of Labour. So this is Swasthya Bima, health insurance scheme. So under this, a total of 30,000 rupees is insured per year per BPL family comprising of 5 members. So this is again a cashless transaction, cashless scheme. It is a smart card based scheme. A smart card is provided under this. Then the next news item is you can rebuild aging muscles. So this is regarding muscles with age. So as a person ages, some of the muscle fibers die and some muscle fibers undergo atrophy. So what is important here is to understand what is atrophy. So muscle atrophy means decrease in the mass of the muscle. So this generally takes place when the muscle is not used, exercised insufficiently. So to avoid this, you can have exercising done and muscle atrophy can be reversed. In extreme cases, muscle wasting may also take place, which is the complete or partial or complete wasting, which may result in loss of the muscle too. So this is the news. So the news basically is that a study has been done which shows that even in old age, 60 and 70-year-olds, when they undergo supervised weight training, they can develop muscles as large and as strong as an average 40-year-old. So in young age, new muscle fibers can also be added and present muscle fibers can be pumped up. But as a person ages, new muscle fibers do not develop and some do die as well. But still this shows that in such ages too, you can have strong muscles with exercise. Then the next news item is how Sri Lanka won the malaria war. Sri Lanka has been declared malaria free in September 2016 by World Health Organization. It is only second country from Southeast Asia to be declared so. The other one is Maldives. So Southeast Asia is having malarial occurrence. Malaria is a disease which occurs in tropical and subtropical regions and affects the southern hemisphere majorly. So there are cases recorded in America, Asia, South America, more so Asia and Africa. So in India too, malarial cases, incidents are high. So what is required is that malaria needs to be eradicated from the entire region. Otherwise, there are chances of reoccurrence of malaria in these two countries again as well. So we need to learn lessons on how Sri Lanka has won the malarial war. So this malaria targeting took place in Sri Lanka using its healthcare sector, the entire health framework which is already there, because Sri Lanka has very high health standards and healthcare facilities are good. Even other healthcare indicators are strong in Sri Lanka. So using those infrastructure, it has been able to control malarial spread as well. It used a multi-pronged approach from targeting the vector to the targeting the parasite. So you should know that malaria is a protozoan parasitic disease. The protozoa is transmitted through a vector, a carrier. So this is the female Anopheles mosquito in case of malaria. So DDT, dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane, is a pesticide which is used to kill mosquitoes. So if the mosquitoes are killed, malaria cannot spread. So it was later seen that DDT resistance is developing in some mosquitoes. So because of this, even Sri Lanka switched from DDT to malathion. So that because DDT turned ineffective. Also DDT is a persistent organic pollutant. So it persists in the environment, so it is harmful. It also causes cancers in some cases. So that is also a fear. So this DDT usage was stopped. Also they had other techniques used, like using mosquito repellents, insecticide impregnated bed nets. All these were also provided to ensure that malaria is controlled. Even in case of war with LTT, which was a further setback because Wani, which is a region under LTT control, was a hotbed of malaria. So even that was a setback, but post the LTT war ended, all these areas have been covered and malaria has been completely eliminated. So that is there. So we need to learn lessons about how malaria can be eliminated through working together even in war ravaged and such regions which are out of bounds for the government. This is regarding DDT. It is the least expensive way of killing the mosquitoes that cause malaria, but it harms other animals too. It is, as I said, persistent organic pollutant, so it stays in the environment. It does not disintegrate easily. So it persists and it accumulates. There are terms called bioaccumulation and biomagnification which are used. So POP is on persistent organic pollutants. We also have a convention, Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants under United Nations Environment Program, which is in effect since 2004. So that is also there. So what is bioaccumulation and biomagnification? Bioaccumulation is increase in concentration of a toxic chemical in a single organism over a period of time. And biomagnification or bioamplification is increase in concentration of the toxic chemical as one goes upwards in a food chain. So the top and the food chain, the topmost predator is having the maximum accumulation of this toxic chemical. So because it depends on consumes the lower level organisms. So that is the difference between the two terms. So this is bioaccumulation. Over a period of time, the concentration keeps on increasing because the degradation of this chemical is slow as compared to the organism's capability. So this it results in accumulation as more and more consumption takes place. So that is bioaccumulation. And biomagnification, as you can see, the lower order organism is having a concentration, and this in few numbers is consumed by the higher order organisms. If 2 fish are consumed, the double the amount will be there in the higher order organism. And same as we go higher and higher up, the concentration keeps on increasing. So you know, a food chain or a food pyramid is having more numbers at the lower level. So in that case, biomagnification is there at the topmost level. So this is the two terms. Then the next news item is GST Council fails to reach consensus on key issues to meet again on December 11-12. The GST Council, Goods and Services Tax Council, has been set up, comprising of the Finance Minister, Union Finance Minister Mr. Arun Jaitley as the chairman. The Minister of State of Finance or Revenue is also a member, plus Minister of Finance or any other minister nominated by the state government from each state is also a member. So one such member from each state is also there. The minimum quorum for the GST Council meeting to take place is 50% membership, and also the decision which is taken will be requiring approval of 3/4 of the members of the council. So this is there. Plus you can see the voting powers, 1/3 voting powers are with the center and 2/3 voting powers are with the states. So this GST Council has to finalize further details on implementation of GST, which will be incorporated into a bill and passed by the Parliament in this present winter session. So if it is passed in the present winter session, only then the deadline which the center has put on itself for implementing the GST, 1st April 2017, can be achieved from the financial year to starting next year. Otherwise, the GST would be delayed. So we'll have to wait and watch whether consensus comes up or not. In the present meeting, they failed to reach a consensus on key issues. So the Union Finance Minister is also saying that we are planning to work with consensus. Consensus means everybody agree. And voting, if you see, this is the voting powers and how much votes are required for a decision to be made. So we'll have to wait and watch what happens further. So there are various issues on which decision is required, like the taxes which are dual administered. So administration is also there by center and states. In such cases, there are sticky issues which are emerging on which they are not able to decide who will assess them. So let's see the administrative control goes to whom. So we'll have to wait and watch. We'll hear more. The next meeting as it is on December 11-12. Then the next news item is WTO seeks trade deal on green products. So these important members, the significant members of WTO like US, China, Japan, they had a meeting in Geneva presently, and they are planning to discuss to have zero tariffs or reduced tariffs for green products. So what are green products? Are products for which are environment friendly. So it's products like solar panels, wind turbines, or air quality monitors, which help in achieving environmental climate protection goals under Paris Climate Agreement and all such initiatives. So these should be having no tariffs on them. So this is the proposal which has been put forth, which they are pushing for. So you should know what are green products in this case too. Then the last news item is India-Afghanistan likely to link Air Cargo Service Pact. So India and Afghanistan are working together. We are having presently the Heart of Asia conference, which is taking place in Amritsar. So in this too, we'll see what India-Afghan agreements come up. But we are planning to finalize an Air Cargo Service Pact. So air cargo can be used because India and Afghanistan are not directly connected by a border because of POK. So border is there, but in POK, a very small border, less than 100 kilometers. But then we are planning to use other routes. So even we are building the Chabahar port, which is a port in Iran. So this port is close to Gwadar port too, which China is developing in Pakistan. So this Chabahar port can be used by India. So from India, commodities cargo can go to Chabahar port, and then by road it can go to Afghanistan. Even this Zaranj Delaram link road has been developed by Border Road Organization of India and Afghanistan. So this construction has already been completed. So we're planning to complete this route too, to have an access. Plus presently we are planning to have an air cargo service pact agreement signed, so that air services can also be used to move cargo bypassing Pakistan. So that is it. These are the news items for today. Thank you.